Is Islam compatible with the West? What do the experts say? Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in January 2016, and then again in February, that, quote, Islam is not incompatible with Western secular democracy. We need to make sure that we're working with communities like the Muslim community, for example, to demonstrate that Islam is not incompatible with free and open Western societies.
Canadians are quick to point out that ISIS is wrong, that Islam is not incompatible with a Western secular democracy, a free place like Canada. And we need to make sure that we're working with communities like the Muslim community, for example, to demonstrate that that Islam is not incompatible with free and open Western societies. We have that in Canada.
In his traditional greeting to the Reviving the Islamic Spirit in Toronto, December 2016, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau commended the Muslim community for its contributions to Canada and said that Islam shares Canadian values of empathy, generosity, acceptance, and respect. October 2017, Mufti Isam A. Rashid from the Al Ihsan Educational Foundation Center in Vancouver said, I'll tell you who wants to bring Sharia law. The Canadian government wants to bring Sharia law. This is not a joke. Why? Because Sharia law is simply the way Muslims are doing things. The Canadian government wanted the Muslims to be able to regulate their own issues, to solve their problems amongst themselves according to Sharia law. So it is not a burden on the court system, which is already so bogged down. The government told us, we would like you to have this system, and we would like to work on these initiatives with you. Abdullah Hakim Quick, Vice President of the Canadian Council of Imams, says, what is the position of Islam on homosexuality? The position is death, and we cannot change Islam. Mr. Quick then goes on to connect being gay with Zionism. Syed Muhammad Rizvi is the Imam of the Islamic Sharia Ithna Ashari Jamaat of Toronto and a prominent Shiite scholar and cleric in Canada. Quote, in the Islamic legal system, homosexuality is a punishable crime against the laws of God, and the punishments include death. Musleh Khan, the Muslim police chaplain at the Toronto Police Force, teaches in his webinar, a wife should be obedient to her husband at all times, and intimacy should not be withheld from her spouse without a valid reason. If she refused without a valid reason, then she has committed a major sin. And a woman should ask her husband permission before leaving the home. Syed Hassan Mujtaba Rizvi, Pakistani-born Shiite cleric who grew up in Canada, has said this about Islam, quote, my affiliations are with Iran. When I look towards Allah, and I see that he has affiliation with Iran, has no affiliation with Canada or with America, I say, I have affiliation with Iran, end quote. On December 23, 2016, Sheikh Mohammed bin Musa Al Nasser led the Friday prayer at Dar al-Arqam Mosque in Montreal. In his sermon, he called the Jews the most evil of mankind and human demons, emphasizing that their fate was predetermined by Allah to be killed by the hands of the Muslims. Dr. Iqbal Masoud Al-Nadvi is the Emir, President of Islamic Circle of North America, Canada, and is also serving as chairperson of Canadian Council of Imams, Canada's top imam. The book Riyad Us Salihin, The Gardens of the Righteous, which appears on the ICNA Canada site, adds modern commentary to the verses from the Quran and Hadith. And this is what it says, quote, "The political system of Islam is totally incompatible with Western democracy. The concept of government party and the opposition is alien to Islam. All belong to one ummah with only one goal and pursue the same aims and objects of Islamic guidelines." In a series of lectures on the minor signs of the Qiyamah, the last day, Toronto Imam Saeed Regeya said that Muslims will eventually defeat the Christians and take over Rome, the capital of Italy, where the Vatican City is located. Allah will give the Muslims victory over the Christians. President Barack Obama once said, "People have been drawn to Islam's message of peace." And the very word Islam comes from salam, meaning peace. And he added, "The overwhelming majority of the world's Muslims embrace Islam as a source of peace." Is Islam compatible with the West? I leave that answer to you.